So today I'm going to be talking about adventure! I'm going to be showing you how to create an adventure plan. How to get everything in line so it doesn't matter if you have 2 hours, 2 days, or 2 weeks for an adventure, you'll have a plan in place. Coming up next. Hi everybody, my name is Dee Burks and this is Retirement Rescue, where we talk about how to make money, save money, and live well in retirement. Well, one of the things I hear from people a lot when we talk about adventure is, well, you know, sometimes when I have a few hours or half a day, I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. You know, I need some ideas. Here is where an adventure plan could be your best friend. Now, when I talk about an adventure plan, I am talking about doing all the research, deciding where you want to go. I mean, setting a time frame, a budget, and a plan. So if you find yourself with a little bit of extra time, you can just pick up and go. You don't have to sit and plan everything out every time. That's one of the reasons so many people don't go on adventures. They're like, well, you know, I was thinking about going somewhere Saturday, but I don't know where to go, and I'll probably just do the same thing I always do, and that's fine. Is it really? Is that how you want to spend your retirement or your semi-retirement? It's fine. No, it's not. We all love a little bit of adventure, but adventure takes planning. And don't fool yourself into thinking it doesn't. It does. So one of the things I do is, first and foremost, I develop time windows. What this means is, okay, let's say I have 2 hours to go and do something. What am I going to do? And I have a notebook, and in that notebook I have 2-hour slots, I have 4-hour slots, and I have a full day, and maybe a weekend, an overnight trip. Now usually when I plan for a week, I plan those pretty far in advance. But for these, I'm talking about the shorter term adventure plans where you just all of a sudden feel like going and doing something, but you don't know what. So I'll take each time slot and develop a budget. Say, okay, if I want to go and do something and I have $50, what can I go and do for $50? And I'll start thinking about that. How far can I travel? What kind of entertainment could I have? What kind of meals could I have if I want to go do lunch or something? That's what I think about. And let me give you some examples. So many of us, even if we've lived in an area our whole life, we rarely go do the tourist stuff. And over time, there are so many new things that appear in any given area that we just never try out, because we are all creatures of habit. We go the same places, we do the same things, we eat at the same restaurants, we are the same, right? Well, one of the things I like to do is get on an app like TripAdvisor, or get onto Google. Top 10 things to do in Raleigh, North Carolina. Top 10 places to eat in Santa Fe. They change all the time because there are new things all the time. That is a great place to get ideas of things you can do right in your area. When I lived in Amarillo, Texas, you know, it amazed me that Paladura Canyon, the second largest canyon in the U.S., next to the Grand Canyon, is just about 20 minutes away from Amarillo. And in Paladura Canyon, they would have the Play Texas. It was a big deal. It's world renowned. People travel from all over just to see the Play Texas, and it's a whole event. There's a barbecue. They manufacture snow right in the middle of 100-degree weather during the play. It's really an event. But a lot of people right there in Amarillo never been to see it. They just didn't go. No reason. It just wasn't on their list of things they normally did. In your area, there are probably things just like that that you've just never experienced. Where I live now, Sugar Creek Canyon is just 10 minutes away. But yet so many people who live in Raton rarely go up to the lake. There's picnic tables, there's hiking trails, you can fish. There are so many things you can do, but they just never take the time to go up. No reason. It's just not their normal habit. So get onto those apps and get onto Google and look in your local area. What new restaurants are in town? What things have you not experienced yet? Maybe they're plays, maybe it's just a movie. But that kind of research is just a wealth of ideas. Maybe there's museums you haven't been to but always wanted to go to. Maybe there are events that happen every single year in your town and you just don't attend. Maybe this is the year. And there's something about writing it down into a notebook, into an adventure plan that cements it in your mind, that reminds you, you know what, I really need to go do that. I really need to go see that. I really need to go experience that. And it doesn't have to be something expensive or something fancy. Now, if I have a few hours, it's definitely going to be close. So if you only have a few hours, it's going to be close. So investigate those things that are within 20-25 minutes of where you live. But now if I have a half a day, 4 to 6 hours, well, now that's a little bit different. You can drive maybe an hour and your circle widens. Your circle of adventure widens. Where can you get to in an hour? Where would you like to go? What's available in that area within the hour? Maybe it's a petting zoo or a farm you can take your grandkids to. Maybe it's a resort with a golf course you haven't tried yet. Maybe it's another mountain lake in a mountain town that you really want to try out. But think about where you are. And before anyone says anything, because a lot of people live in large cities, it is amazing how fast you can get from the middle of a large city into an area that you really wanted to be. I actually saw one of my friends post on Facebook, and she lives in Washington, D.C., that within an hour and a half of her apartment, she can be on the Appalachian Trail hiking within an hour and a half. So don't think just because you live in a big city, your options are limited. You really want to think in terms of time. How much time will it take you to get someplace? And this is dependent on the day of the week you go, obviously, and the time of day you go. But for those of us who are semi-retired or retired, that gives you a lot of options. You can choose days that aren't that busy. You can look on your tourist apps and see which ones are highly rated, what you need to do when you get there. There is so much information available that actually you end up with information overwhelm sometimes. But developing these time frame adventures allows you to know exactly what you're going to do, exactly where you're going to go, and how much time it's going to take you. There's no question. You don't have to sit down when you suddenly find yourself with half a day and you want to go somewhere. You don't have to sit down then and do several hours of research. It's already done. You know where you're going to go. You know what you're going to do. Now, the third part of this adventure plan is when you have longer adventures, a day or an overnight trip, you may need to reserve space. You may need to buy tickets to something. You may need to get a hotel room. That requires just a little bit more advanced prep, but not much. And don't forget, all of these things you're doing probably have discounts for people over 55. So don't forget to use those discounts and call ahead about the discounts. You know already how it's going to affect your budget, what discounts you can get. How expensive it's going to be. Where I live, if I want to travel a couple of hours, I can be at Garden of the Gods in Colorado Springs. I can do their Friday art walk. There are numerous things I can do up in Colorado. 2 hours, actually 2 hours and 45 minutes. I could be in Santa Fe. I could be going to museums. I could be going to, the Georgia O'Keeffe Art Museum there off the square in Santa Fe. There are so many things you can do, but they're things you don't really think about. They're things tourists do. There is a lot of value in being a tourist right in your hometown. And these days, there are so many reviews online, so many people who talk about even the dishes that are fabulous at certain restaurants. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. You know the things you're probably going to enjoy with just that little bit of research. You don't go and waste time trying to figure out what to choose. People have already done that. And once you have this plan, the last thing is to be ready. Be ready to throw everything in a bag and just go. And somehow, once you already have the plan, it is that much easier just to pick up and go, because you've already done that research. That uncertainty and the, oh, I don't know if I'll enjoy it, that's not there. You've already researched it online. And by the way, creating an adventure plan is a really great activity for rainy days, snowy days, days you're stuck inside for some reason, or even at night when you just need something to do. This is a great activity. You can imagine yourself on all these adventures. You can look and see what other people are doing for their adventures, and it will give you some fabulous ideas. So don't hesitate to write those things down and create your own adventure plan, and that will make it much easier to insert adventure into your life at any time. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, please click subscribe, and I'll see you next time.